Welcome back. This is video 2 for Thursday, March 26th. So this is like your Friday today, because as I mentioned at the end of the last video, we will not have videos tomorrow. It was supposed to be a scheduled day off, so we are still giving you the day off from learning. So I guess what I should do is, it's Thursday, it's Thursday. Thursday is my favorite day. Hey, so on to our phonics page, our phonics review. Let's start off and we'll go a little quick. This is a hat. At. H-A-T. Consonant, vowel, consonant. When you only have one vowel, the vowel is short or long? Short. Circle the correct answer. This, looking at this picture, beg or peg? Peg, B. It's a little peg, like a push pin almost, or something that would hold something up, a peg. Circle the matching word to the picture. So we have short I words. CVC, one vowel, short eyes. Say it and I point to it. Tip. Sip. Fix. Big. You need to match the words with a color to go with the picture. So I will do the first one with you. Tip. Which one of these is pointing to the tip of something? Yes, the pencil. So you would color your first one to match that box, and then pick a different color for each one after. You can pause the video if you need to finish, but I'm going to keep moving. At the bottom, it says, fill in the missing sight word, write the sentence on the line. So it says, we get blank dip. And they have an X over the dip picture. So we get dip, we get no dip, or we get go dip. Which one would fit there? No, because they're putting an X. We get no dip. So you're going to rewrite this whole sentence with your capital letter and your period and the missing word. We get no dip, period. Make sure you are finger spacing between words. I'm talking to you, Duncan Wortman. All right, so phonics sheet is done, and today is one of the days that we have a story, and then we have a paper to go with it, which is a character trait paper. And the character is what in a story? Is it the place, the person, I don't even know. The place or the person? Person. Character. Characters are the people or animals in the story. And since this one says character chat, we are going to focus only on one character. I would go with the main character, but if you choose to pick a different character from the story, that's okay too, because there's more than one character in the story. Just make sure there was enough about that person to fill all this in. You don't want to pick one person that only says one line. That's why it's better to pick one of the main characters. So the story that we have is The Empty Pot. And actually this story is on Storyline Online. Sorry, our puppy is playing with a toy. Thank you. And if you have a different story than The Empty Pot in your binder, you can stop the video now, read your story, and then pause it to kind of see what you need to do to fill in the chart. Or you could listen to me read The Empty Pot and then fill in the chart with me. It is your free choice. If you have The Empty Pot in your binder, then I suggest you get it now. And I want you reading it out loud with me. Now, when I did this before for the Blackbeard, the pirate one, it was really hard for me to hold the book up and try to read at the same time without getting my face in the way. So I think what I'm going to do this time is I'll read the page and then I'll show you the picture. Okay? This story, unlike the Blackbeard story, this story is fiction. So if Blackbeard was nonfiction and this is fiction, what is fiction? Make believe, not real. Okay? We could even classify this story as realistic fiction. And what does realistic fiction mean? Yeah, it's a story that's not true, but the events and the people in it could really act that way. We don't have a talking frog. That's not realistic. But this story about this little boy very well could be real, and you'll understand. We'll talk about it after the story, okay? All right, so if you have this book with you, you need to read it with me out loud. If you do not, then you are allowed to listen, and I'll show the pictures. Okay? The Empty Pot, retold by Betty Yee. So this is a story maybe that's been passed down for many years. There's a lesson in it. When you open it up, we see there are a lot of words to know in this. Let's echo them. We have boiled, emperor, empty, honest, pleased, and sprout. If you do not know what these words mean, you can look in the back, use your resources, and use like a mini dictionary, the book's glossary. Okay, so boiled is a verb. It means to heat something, a liquid, until it becomes hot enough to boil. And we'll see this word on page 14. Emperor, this might be a new one for some of you. It's announced as a person. A man who rules a group of countries. So on page 4, we're going to learn about the emperor in this story. It's sort of like a synonym for a king. Then we have empty, which we know, I think we all know that empty means it doesn't have anything. It's without, the opposite or antonym for full. Honest, to be truthful. We learned about that for our sacrament that we received, telling the truth. Pleased. Pleased is a synonym for happy. Okay, if Mrs. Ridings is pleased with how much work and how hard you're working, that means I'm happy, which I am. And then the last one is sprout. Okay, it's a verb. It means to come out of a seed and begin to grow. So that little green part that pops out, that's a little sprout. It's a baby plant growing. Okay? We'll start to see a lot of things sprout. Leaves on the trees soon, everything, flowers. Okay, so We're going to start on page 3. Here's what the picture looks like. A long time ago, there was a boy named Chen. He lived in China with his mother. They lived in a house full of beautiful flowers and other plants from their garden. Show it again. So there's Chen and his mother at their garden. The Emperor of China was a very old man. He didn't have any children. He worried about who would become the next emperor. So normally the king's or emperor's son or daughter would take over. But he doesn't have any kids, so he's thinking, who's going to take over for me? I'm getting old. The emperor decided to choose the next emperor from among the children in his country. He told his people, I will give a flower seed to every child. In a year's time, come back to the palace with your pots. So he's going to give all the children one seed, and he wants them to return in 1 year and show them in the pot what they grew from the seed. Interesting. Sorry, I needed a drink of water. Page 6. Chen carefully planted his seed in a little clay pot and gave it water. Days passed, but the little seed did not sprout. Chen moved the seed into a bigger, nicer pot. He placed the pot in the sunniest corner of his garden. Weeks passed, but the little seed didn't sprout. So he's giving it soil and water and sunshine. Oh no, he looks pretty worried. Chen carried his pot to a well with fresh water. Months passed, but the little seed didn't sprout. So he took it and he even traveled to get him really fresh water from the ground. And months have passed now, so he's getting close. How many months are in 1 year? 12. So he's already months in. This is not looking good for Chen. Page 9. He kept his pet cricket next to the pot. He wanted the seed to hear the cricket's sweet sounds. Seasons passed, but the little seed still didn't sprout. Page 10. A year passed. It was time to bring the pot back to the emperor's palace. Chen was sad. His seed hadn't sprouted at all. His mother found him crying in the garden. "You did your best," she said. "Bring your pot to the emperor and tell him what happened." Page 11. Children came to the emperor's palace with their pots full of flowers. Chen looked down sadly at his empty pot. Page 12. The emperor walked slowly through the crowd of children and flowers. Something was wrong. The emperor didn't look pleased. At last, he came to Chen and his empty pot. How would you feel? I think I would be very nervous. What's this? The emperor demanded. Why is your pot empty? He asked. Chen said, I'm sorry. I put the seed in a pot. I moved it into a bigger, fancier pot. I made sure it had sunlight. I gave it the freshest water. I even let my cricket keep it company at night. No matter what I did, it wouldn't grow. I tried my best. So did he lie or tell the truth? He told the truth. Did he make up an excuse? Did he say it wasn't his fault? Or did he blame the emperor and said it was your seed that you gave me? It's your fault it didn't grow. No, he didn't make excuses. He didn't lie. He told them the truth and he accepted that he tried his best and that was all that he could do. What do you predict the emperor is going to be? Happy, mad, sad? Suddenly, I'm on page 14. Suddenly, to Chen's surprise, the emperor shouted, I found the next emperor! I don't know how the rest of you grew your flowers. The seeds I gave out were boiled. They could never have grown. But this child was honest and used his best effort to try to grow the seed. So what happened was the emperor gave them all seeds that he boiled in water. And once you do that, it's too hot and the seed will no longer grow. In science, before we let out of school, we were talking about the inside of a seed and how it has all the nutrients in the embryo. If you boil the seed, it no longer will have all of that. It will get ruined. So the emperor knew that everyone else lied. They planted their own seeds, not the seed that the emperor gave them. But Chen told the truth. He said, I tried, but it wouldn't grow, and I'm sorry, I did my best. The emperor was looking for someone who was being truthful. And the only one that was honest was Chen. Page 15. Chen and his mother went to live in the palace. The emperor and Chen worked in the palace garden together. When the emperor died, Chen became the emperor. He cared for China just as he had always cared for his own garden. So he took good care of China, and the emperor knew that he would do a good job because he always gave everything his best and was honest, and that's what the emperor wanted. So what do you think the lesson in this story was? to do your best and tell the truth, and you'll be rewarded for telling the truth. Mrs. Writings always says, honesty is best, right? We all make mistakes, and he thought he made a mistake. He thought he didn't do a good enough job, but it turns out he was telling the truth. And the emperor wanted to know who would do the right thing and come forward, even though it was hard to do. Okay? So now let's go ahead and work on our character traits. So we have right here in the middle the character's name. And who is the main character in this story? Who was it? Chen, right. It was Chen. So we are going to write in that middle, we're going to write Chen. Capital letter. Then in the top left box, it says, this is what the character looks like. Well, what does Chen look like? Is he an old man that's tall and looks like a cowboy? No. Is he a girl or a boy? It's a boy, so he's a little boy, and he lives in China, because it told us that his emperor is the emperor of China. So I would say he's a young Chinese boy. Okay. You can print instead of cursive because it might be hard to do your cursive writing quite this small. Okay, a young Chinese boy. Chinese is capital C-H-I-N-E-S-E. If I'm going too fast, you can always pause the video. Then the top right box, the wavy one that had the pencil in it, words to describe the character. So we're looking for adjectives. Adjectives, words that describe a noun. And since Chen is a person, he's a noun. So let's talk about it. Well, we said he is Chinese and he's a boy. So we could say that again. Chinese boy. If he's a boy, we know he's young. He's not a man. What else do we know? Was he kind? Was he honest? Was he gentle? Those are words I would use to describe Chen. So I would say kind, K-I-N-D. Honest, that's a big one. H-O-N-E-S-T. Kind of looks like honest, but it's pronounced honest. And Mrs. Writings, if you can fit it, I would include gentle because he was gentle with the plant and the seed, and even though it wouldn't grow, he treated it very kindly. If you want to include a hard worker or dedicated, that means he didn't give up. Those would be fine too. They would be great words. Your list can be a little different than mine. That's okay. The bottom left, what happens to the character? What happens to him? He fails at growing a seed, but he is rewarded for his honesty and becomes emperor. Capital letter. He fails, which means he couldn't grow a plant. At growing a seed, but is rewarded for his honesty. Okay? So even though he failed at what he was told to do, planting the seed and having it grow, he was honest, and that's what the emperor was looking for. So he rewarded him. He rewarded him by letting him become the next emperor. This last one is your opinion. Do you like the character? I'm going to let you decide on filling that out, because that is an opinion. It's not a fact. It's how you feel. The only thing that would make it not my favorite answer is if you don't give me a reason why. So, yes, I like the character because, or no, I didn't like Chen because. You have to tell me a reason, okay? My opinion is that I do like him because he was hardworking and he tried his best. You can pick what you like or dislike about him. Okay? Good work. That's the end of video 2. And I will see you back here for video 3 for Thursday, March 26th. See you soon.